Davesave and Sallyiscuit's first perfect day of preschool. In the last story, you see the computer laptop that has wheels, a face, and a desk. And that computer laptop's name is Loruna, and she has two children that she adopted. Their names are Sallyiscuit and Davesave. But at the closing of the last story, Loruna invented the transporting machine. It takes any laptop anywhere, like school or somewhere else. But is it going to work? Let's find out. It was the beginning of September. Summer vacation had just come to an end, and all the children are ready to go back to school. But what about Sally Isket and Dave Save? A long time ago, their mom, Loruna, had invented a transporting device that takes any laptop computer anywhere, like school, or a store that had computer devices including wireless mice, headphones, and more, whether any computer laptop with wheels and a desk is big or small. At 6 o'clock a.m., Loruna got her transporter all set up and ready. Now she's going to test it out to make sure that it's working properly. Will the transport be a success for Loruna? She got out her vintage computer doll to use. So she put it in the transport machine, set the location on the remote to Vintage Toy Store, pushed the button, and instantly Loruna's doll transported from her digitalized house to the vintage toy store full of toys and other items, even though the toy store was not quite ready yet.
Success!
She cried.
If the transporter works for my doll, it will definitely work for my little children.
Then at 8 o'clock a.m., the alarm clock rang, and Sally Iskett turned off her sleep mode and was ready to start her very first school day. Her brother Dave Save did the same thing. There are a few exceptions for all computers and laptops, including Sally Iskett and Dave Save, when it comes to morning routines. First, they must never take a shower or a bath with real water because they'll get all soaking wet. Second, they can't eat real breakfast foods, especially lunch and dinner for later hours, because they'll get themselves dirty and they have no mouths. Except Loruna and her two kids have mouths, but they still can't eat. Third, they can't brush their teeth because not only does it involve water, but it also involves toothpaste. If the computers and laptops did all of that, they won't function properly. In other words, they'll slow down, freeze, cause many errors, crash, and permanently shut down. All of the files, memories, and hard drives will be kaput and they'll end up in computer heaven. Sally Iskett and Dave Save didn't want those bad things to happen, and neither will their mom, Loruna. The morning routines only work for real human beings. Then, at 8:50 a.m., Loruna reminded Sally Iskett and Dave Save that it's almost time to go to school. So they packed up all their school supplies. They were now ready. Loruna explained to Sally Iskett and Dave Save all about her transporting machine and how it works in order to get to preschool on time. Then Loruna set the transporting dial to school and the machine was ready to go. Sally Iskett and Dave Save got in.
Before you go to school,
Loruna said to her kids.
there are important rules you must obey. No crashing, no beeping like crazy, no video calling, no swimming, no going outside, and no freezing. Now off you go to school. Have a good day.
Loruna pushed the button and Sally Iskett and Dave Save were immediately transported into school. When Davesave and Sallyiscuit arrived in preschool for 1 second, all of the children gasped.
What are they?
Asked one of the students named Wayne.
It looks like there are two computers.
Said another student, Anthony.
Only has desks and wheels.
Added another student, Riley.
Am I dreaming?
Amy asked, who began to worry.
Not exactly.
Replied Ellen.
Who are you?
Asked Curie the crow.
I'm Sally Yiskit, and this is my brother, Davesave. We're not just computers. We're computer laptops that can travel anywhere, including here and some other places.
All of the children exclaimed in excitement. Just then, Miss Stella Bellafella, the preschool teacher, came in the room and was surprised to see Davesave and Sally Yiskit.
Hello, Miss Stella Bellafella. What? How did you know my name? That's an excellent question. My brother noticed your name tag on the desk. Oh, please forgive me. Where are my manners? Let us introduce ourselves. I'm Sally Yiskit, and I'm Davesave. We're computer laptops.
They said.
Somehow I never heard of those laptops with wheels.
Miss Stella Bellafella remarked.
Anyway, welcome to preschool. These are your classmates, Amy, Ellen, and a whole lot more, especially the cutest crow, Kiri. Now,
She continued.
there are important rules that everyone must follow. No gum, no talking too loud, no cell phones unless it's an emergency. Raise your hand and wait to be called on. Keep your hands to yourself. No rough housing, no repeating what other children said, and most of all, play and learn nicely. Those are really good rules,
Davesave said.
and they're very important to follow. That's right, Davesave.
Agreed his sister, Sally Yiskit.
Not only do we have to follow these school rules, but we also have to follow these rules for us laptops and other computers in different schools. No water, no crashing, no freezing, no messing around with the mice and or keyboards. No going outside, no beeping, no swimming. Don't let anyone upload a computer virus or viruses on us. No computer games that does not have educational stuff. No video calling. And most importantly, think smart and give respect to the classmates so that they can respect us. Wow, I think those rules will work.
Said Miss Stella Bellafella.
Furthermore,
Sally Yiskit added.
if any classmate breaks the rules, he or she will have a 5-minute timeout in the quarter and think about what he or she did wrong. And we certainly don't want those rules to be broken. Right, Sallyiscuit.
Miss Stella Bellafella said.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
And all the rules were written. After that, the school bell rang. Miss Stella Bellafella called out,
Okay, class has begun. All children, please take your seats so we can get started with preschool. You too, laptop newcomers.
everyone took their seats faster like a rabbit, including Davesave and Sally Yiskit,
Wonderful.
said Miss Stella Bellafella happily.
Let's begin. Now, I'm sure most of you don't know how to read yet, especially when it comes to computer devices on the monitor screen. As for me and my sister and my mom,
Davesave explained.
we have faces on our monitor screens. Is this a joke? Am I imagining things? Amy, calm down, please.
Begged Miss Stella Bellafella.
They're just friendly computers. Are you sure?
Asked Amy.
I'm 100% positive.
Miss Stella Bellafella replied.
Phew!
Amy sighed of relief.
Hmm. Now, where were we?
Pondered Miss Stella Bellafella.
You were going to teach us how to read.
Answered Brian.
Oh, yes, reading.
Miss Stella Bellafella exclaimed in delight.
I'm going to teach you the basic concepts of reading. But in order to do that, you must read and learn the alphabet. There are 26 letters in the entire alphabet. Two letters, A and I, form words. For example, the letter A is used for the sentence, a lot of birds are flying.
Curie the Crow raised her hand.
Yes, Curie? Are they flying around? Where are they off to?
She asked.
Yes, those birds are flying.
Replied Miss Stella Bellafella.
But no one really knows where they'll land on. Anyway, the letter I is used for two sentences. I am learning a lot of things, or I have important errands to run. However, the rest of the letters have no meaning of words. All letters are arranged in alphabetical order from A to Z. As of right now, there are no new letters, and I don't think there ever will be. Just 26 of them.
Everyone in the entire classroom understood about the alphabet. Davesave raised his mouse hand, and Miss Stella Bellafella asked.
Yes, Davesave? Do you have something to say? Indeed I do.
He replied.
You can find letters on all keyboards for all computer devices, including laptops like us. Isn't that right, Sallyiscuit? It sure is, Davesave. And
He continued.
not all letter keys on the keyboards are in alphabetical order. But if they were arranged alphabetically, it could be very complicating and confusing, and nobody will know what the whole no keys are, unless someone is a real typing expert. In conclusion, all keyboards are supposed to be the way they are, not alphabetically. Thank you for the information, Davesave.
Said Miss Stella Bellafella.
Now let's get on with our lesson, shall we? Yes, let's.
Davesave agreed. Miss Stella Bellafella wrote down a letter of the alphabet.
Okay, who can remember the first letter of the alphabet?
Curie the Crow raised her wing.
Yes, Curie? Do you know what the first letter is? I sure do, Miss Stella Bella.
She said happily.
The first letter of the alphabet is the letter A. Lots of words begin with the letter A, like artist, agree, and anything. That's right, Curie.
Miss Stella Bellafella said. Then Sallyiscuit raised her mouse hand.
Do you have something to say? Yes, Miss Stella Bella, I do. The letter A starts in other words like animal, adventure, and always. And in words that no one has ever heard of, like aardvark, attractive, ambidextrous, and even anti-disestablishmentarianism and antidote. Absolutely.
Said Miss Stella Bellafella happily.
You are awesome, Sallyiscuit. So are you, Curie. Thank you.
They said. 25 letters later, everyone approached the final one,
Well, class,
said Miss Stella Bellafella.
this is the last letter of the entire alphabet. Can anyone remember what it is?
Wayne raised his hand and said,
I know, Miss Stella Bella. The final letter is Z, which is the first letter of quite a few words, like zigzag,
zipper, zoo, zebra, and zero. And speaking of zero, we have reached the conclusion of the alphabet. There are no more letters left, and there's not going to be new letters in the future. Not even one.
That's right, Wayne.
agreed Miss Stella Bellafella.
Everyone did a great job learning the alphabet. Well done.
All of the students clapped and felt proud of themselves.
Speaking of zero,
Miss Stella Bellafella said,
I think it's time we learned about numbers.
and she started explaining in full details. Moments later, she concluded the explanation by saying,
So you see, children, numbers are extremely important because without them, we can't count, add, subtract, multiply, divide, nor other things. Let's say I haven't written anything at all, and I forgot to bring some apples with me. I ended up with nothing. Zero. Just like you said, Wayne. But let's suppose I wrote down the numbers on the board.
Miss Stella Bellafella did that, and all the children counted to 10. After that, they counted up to 20, then 30, then 40, then 50, then 60, then 90, and even 100.
Oh my!
Miss Stella Bellafella exclaimed.
All of you are expert counters. I guess you watched a lot of children's TV shows that have counting segments. Just right for the recommended ages.
Then Miss Stella Bellafella gave the students another lesson of numbers by using them to tell time.
Numbers are a great way to find out what time it is just by looking at the clock or a watch.
She explained.
But without 12 numbers, how would we figure out when's breakfast, lunch, and dinner? What time it takes to get to our destinations, and what time everyone should go to bed for the night? Right now we have a wall clock. Not all buildings have wall clocks, though. Other buildings have digital clocks. In fact, you can buy clocks just about everywhere. Right now it's 10:30 a.m. That means the little hand is on the 10 and the big hand is on the 6. It's half past the hour whenever the big hand points down to the 6, so don't forget, please.
The children listened carefully.
Also,
She continued.
whenever the big hand points to the 3, it's quarter past the hour. When it gets to the 9, it's a quarter to another hour. And finally, when it gets to the 12, it's a whole new hour. There are 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, and 1,440 minutes in a day. That's 24 whole hours.
You can also find clocks inside the computer monitors like mine.
Said Sallyiscuit, who was paying attention.
That goes double for me.
Added Davesave.
In fact, all computer devices have clocks once you set up the hard drives.
Sallyiscuit and Davesave set themselves to clock modes, and the children oohed and awed in amazement.
Wonderful!
Cried Carrie.
I am no longer afraid of those laptops with wheels.
Amy exclaimed delightfully.
I have a computer at home,
Ellen said.
and it also has a clock.
Mine too.
Agreed Miss Stella Bellafella in excitement.
Pretty accurate for those clocks. Okay, Davesave and Sallyiscuit, you can turn your clock modes off.
And they did.
Speaking of hours, Miss Stella,
Sallyiscuit would say.
hours depend on the number of traveling hours whenever you're driving in a vehicle that has wheels. Dave, Steve, and I are not cars, but we do go anywhere highway just like her mom, depending upon the weather and the temperature for outside. Right now, the temperature is in the low 70s with mostly cloudy skies. Such a beautiful day for playing in the playground and going on the highway. Us laptops don't do real-life highways. We use a transporter. Our mom can speed up to 75 miles per hour as long as she is on a highway race or a speedway race. But if our mom is inside any building at any time, slow speed is encouraged. Very slow speed.
agreed Davesave.
Those are really important facts.
Said Miss Stella Bellafella.
If you laptops go under the speed limits, you'll be fine. I never met your mom before, but I heard she caught that naughty little Aunt Denflick, and she sentenced him to military school for misbehaving. Is your mom going to participate in a race?
She asked Davesave and Sallyiscuit.
Maybe.
Replied Davesave.
We'll see what happens in a few days.
Added Sallyiscuit. Then it was time to learn about shapes. Miss Stella Bellafella pointed to the first shape and asked the students what it is. Davesave knew the answer, so he raised his mouse, and the shape that came to mind was
A rectangle.
Excellent, Dave Save. That is correct. It is a rectangle.
Miss Stella Bellafella said proudly.
How did you know that?
Both screens from the computers and TVs nowadays are rectangle. Even the monitor that is very wide like a widescreen TV is also a rectangle. But back in the retro years, HD TVs and widescreen monitors did not exist. Computer screens were square that had four corners and four equal sides. And so were small 25-inch TV screens.
Interesting point of view, Dave Save.
Said Miss Stella Bellafella.
And you just mentioned another shape. A square. Very good. Squares have four corners and four sides that are equal length, just like you said.
Davesave was proud of himself for matching the first two shapes.
Now, let's go on to the next shape.
Miss Stella Bellafella announced.
What is it? Here's a hint. This shape is used to tell us when to stop.
Oh, I know that one.
Cried Alan, who was raising his hand.
It's an octagon. That shape has 8 sides, and it does look like a stop sign. Whenever the vehicle gets to the stop sign, they must stop, look both ways, and listen for other vehicles passing by. In short, stop, look, and listen.
Right, Alan.
Said Miss Stella Bellafella.
That is an octagon. And it is the shape used for a stop sign. Great job.
A few shapes later, Miss Stella Bellafella drew the final one. She asked the students what it was that had no corners and no sides, and can roll like a wheel. Tony raised his hand and said,
A circle.
That's right, Tony.
replied Miss Stella Bellafella.
This is a circle. You're really on a roll. In fact, all of you are on a roll.
Everyone laughed.
And this shape is also used for the sun.
Curie said.
I think it's almost time for recess.
Well,
Miss Stella Bellafella told Curie.
if you want to get some recess exercises, you and your classmates must have a healthy lunch first because it's just about noon. After lunch, then you can go outside and have some fun.
Then the bell rang.
Okay, kids,
She announced.
it's time for lunch. Bon appetit. That means good appetite in French.
Everyone lined up and off they went to the cafeteria. Everyone except Davesave and Sallyiscuit, that is. They told Miss Stella Bellafella that they're laptops, not human beings, because all computer devices don't eat real food nor go outside. Otherwise, they'll cause a lot of errors on their hard drives, and they'll freeze, act funny, slow down, and crash, especially when the outside temperature gets too cold or too hot, and when the sudden change in weather happens, like a severe thunderstorm threat on the level scale of 1 to 5 that has rain, hail, lightning, and thunder, which is absolutely dangerous to all humans, birds, and computer devices. Miss Stella Bella Bella heard the whole thing and completely understood on what's going to happen to Dave Save and Sally Yesket. Then they asked her if they could be her assistants. Miss Stella Bellafella wasn't sure, but she thought about it for a moment.
Hmm. I think I will let both of you be my assistants.
She paused,
If you both pass a quiz about arithmetic.
and the challenge began.
Dave Save, I'll start with you. What's 6 times 2? Here's a hint. All the eggs are in a dozen. Do you know what a dozen means?
12.
Correct. Sally Isket, what's 55 minus 51?
4.
Very good. Dave Save, what is the square root of 81? Or in a division sentence, 81 divided by 9. What is it?
9.
Excellent. Sally Isket, what's 143 plus 4?
147.
Yes! All right, you two. These are your last questions, and they're pretty tough. If you get them right, you'll win the assistance opportunity. Ready? Dave Save, what is 384 times 25?
9,600.
Correct! Dave Save, you got the job. Okay, Sally Isket, last question. What is 3,551 times 59?
209,509.
That is correct. Congratulations, Dave Save and Sally Esket. You are both my official assistants.
The laptops cheered with excitement, and the math quiz challenge was over. They had such great memories, and they had wonderful intelligence.
You know, Sally Yesket,
Dave Save told her.
this is like being on a game show as contestants. But this isn't the studio that has a game show set with a background. No, I know.
Sally Yesket murmured.
This is school where all kids go and learn so that they can get an education.
Just then, there was a knock at Miss Stella Bellafella's door.
Come in.
She called. What's going on? Asked a voice. It was Principal Elthony. Why are there two laptops with faces, desks, and wheels? Do they talk?
Yes, we do.
Principal Elthony gasped when Dave Save and Sally Yesket spoke. I I don't believe this, he cried. What did you do to those laptops who actually talk? Um, what are their names?
Dave Save and Sally Yesket at your service.
Miss Stella Bellafella said,
They seem to be special and smart. So I wanted to know how well they are by giving them a challenging math quiz. Dave Save and Sally Esket answered all the questions correctly.
like being on a game show? Principal Elthony asked,
This isn't a game show, Principal Anthony.
replied Dave Save.
This is a preschool. Or should I say, School of Educational Learning Experience.
I know, Principal Elthony told him.
Anyway,
Miss Stella Bellafella continued.
Davesave and Sallyiscuit's prize is they get to be my assistants.
What? Laptop assistants that can talk? Puzzled Principal Elthony. I know I hired teacher assistants, but I never hired assistants that are laptops. Then he thought about it for a moment. Hmm. Well, since you two both passed the math quiz with flying numerical colors, he said to the laptops Davesave and Sallyiscuit, I am going to give you both a chance. They both smiled at Principal Elthony. And you can start, he said, by cleaning up the items and putting them in their proper boxes that have labels. Davesave and Sallyiscuit did that in less than a minute. Principal Elthony was surprised. Oh my! He gasped. How did you?
The secrets of computerized magic cannot be revealed.
Interrupted Sallyiscuit. Okay. Now I want you to clean the floor, said Principal Elthony. It's a little dirty, so try your best. Make sure you put a wet floor sign there so that no one can slip. Davesave and Sallyiscuit used mops to clean up the dirty floor with no problems and no rush. Once the floor was dirty-free, they put a wet floor sign to prevent any accidents. Great job, smiled Principal Elthony. In just a few moments, this floor will be sparkling like new. One more favor, and then I'll hire you both. Can you set up the screensaver and set the wait mode for 5 minutes, please? And with a few clicks of the computer mouse, Davesave and Sallyiscuit did just that. Now they are officially hired as Miss Stella Bellafella's assistants. Davesave and Sallyiscuit, said Principal Elthony, I wish you both the very best of luck assisting Miss Stella Bellafella. In fact, I'll leave you right to it. And remember, he finished, if you have any trouble, you just let me know. I wouldn't want to miss it,
Roger,
replied Davesave,
you can count on us.
added Sallyiscuit. Principal Elthony headed back to the office, still smiling. Then, at 1 o'clock p.m., the bell rang, meaning lunchtime was over, and so was recess. All the students headed back to class for more learning, including the preschoolers and kindergartners. But when the preschoolers came back to Miss Stella Bellafella's classroom, they were surprised to see Miss Stella Bellafella, Davesave, and Sallyiscuit all standing there together.
What is going on here?
Kiri cried.
And why are Davesave and Sallyiscuit still with you? Are they your assistants?
That's right, Kiri.
Answered Miss Stella Bellafella.
But how?
Kiri wanted to know.
Uh-uh-uh.
Sallyiscuit cut in.
That's classified information. It means that no one should reveal the secrets. And we do mean nobody. That's right.
Agreed Davesave.
Anyone say that will end up at a 5-minute time out.
All of the children understood this, especially Kiri,
Good understanding.
said Miss Stella Bellafella.
Now, let's continue with our learning, shall we?
Miss Stella Bellafella wrote down some notes on the board.
This is getting silly.
Amy whispered firmly.
Relax.
Ellen whispered to Amy.
It's only the beginning of Miss Stella Bella's assistance from Davesave and Sallyiscuit. What could go wrong?
Okay, class.
announced Miss Stella Bellafella.
See these notes? These are called musical notes. And music is important for anybody who is making an upcoming song, or maybe something that's instrumental. There are 8 notes that make up a scale.
Dave Say played all the notes correctly by pressing the magical piano keyboard,
That was very good, Dave Save. Class,
said Miss Stella Bellafella.
those were the 8 notes that make a scale.
The children found this improving so far,
And
added Sally Iskin.
if you play the notes correctly by combining four of them, you get a chord.
She played the 4 notes from the keyboard, and that sounded exactly like a chord. Miss Stella Bellafella was impressed, and so were the preschoolers. In fact, some kids thought wrong about Dave Save and Sally Iskett not assisting Miss Stella Bellafella properly. They were the best assistants ever, and they could not wait to do that again tomorrow, the next day after that, and so on up until summer. The teaching, the assistance, and the fun went on and on and on until the final bell rang at precisely 3 o'clock p.m., meaning it was time to pack everything up and go home until tomorrow morning when another school day begins. All of the children said goodbye to Miss Stella Bellafella, Dave Save, and Sally Iskett. Then the 2 laptops had to clean the classroom again from top to bottom with a bit of magic. When their after-school tasks were complete, Miss Stella Bellafella congratulated them for being great assistants. Dave Safe and Sally Iskett thanked her and said goodbye and promised they'll come back again tomorrow for more preschool assisting. Now that was a perfect day of preschool for those advanced laptops. Once they got home, they told Loruna, their mom, all about their perfect day and working like her. She was really proud of Dave Save and Sally Iskett since all the laptops are now workers. Hopefully, Loruna can compete in a race soon.